The Disposable Camera with Extra Pictures. Submitted by Nathaniel Moore, Rochester, New York. I want to start off by saying, I'm not a superstitious guy. I'm a tech consultant living in upstate New York, very into logic, facts, and data. I don't believe in the paranormal, ghosts, or any of that stuff. Or at least, I didn't. This happened last summer. I was driving back from visiting my cousin in Vermont and took a detour through a small town called Langdon. You've probably never heard of it. It's one of those quiet, nowhere towns with a single gas station, a diner, and maybe 20 houses scattered across winding country roads. But I like those kinds of towns. They feel like they're stuck in time. It was a Sunday, and as I was passing through, I saw a handmade sign that said, "Estate Garage Sale, Everything Must Go," with an arrow pointing down a gravel driveway. Out of boredom and curiosity, I turned in. There were maybe 5 or 6 tables set up in the yard. Dusty furniture, old VHS tapes, board games, porcelain dolls, the usual stuff. There were 2 people running the sale. An older woman, maybe late 60s, and a younger man who looked like her son. I made small talk, picked through some books, and that's when I found it, sitting in a cracked plastic bin of knickknacks. A Kodak Funsaver disposable camera, still in the box, completely unopened. I held it up and joked, "What's this?" "A relic from the ancient world." The woman smiled but didn't laugh. "It's never been used," she said. "Take it for $1. I figured I'd buy it as a fun little throwback. I always liked film. I could get it developed at one of the few labs still doing it. I tossed it in my glove box and forgot about it for a couple weeks. When I finally took the camera in, the guy at the film lab gave me a weird look. "You sure this hasn't been used before?" he asked. I told him, "Yeah, it was sealed, brand new." He just shrugged. "Okay, I'll call you when it's ready." 3 days later, I got the call. When I walked in, the guy behind the counter, his name was Eli, had this pale look on his face. "You the one with the disposable from Langdon?" "Yeah," I said. "Why?" He didn't answer, just slid the envelope of photos across the counter. His hands were shaking. I opened it right there. The first few pictures looked exactly how you'd expect. Dated clothes, bad lighting, early 90s family vacation stuff. A man and woman smiling, 2 little kids, a boy and a girl. They were at some kind of lake cabin. You could tell the air was warm. The trees were green. They were wearing swimsuits, laughing. The mom had big 90s bangs. The dad wore wraparound sunglasses. But then, something shifted. Around photo number 9 or 10, the tone changed. Everyone stopped smiling. There was a photo of the mother with her mouth open, mid-scream. The flash had caught her mid-motion, blurred, like she was turning to run. Another photo showed the little girl's hand smearing something red across a wooden wall. Another, the father slumped against a fridge, eyes wide open, blood pooled beneath him. But the worst, photo number 16. It was taken from just outside a window, looking in at the children. Their bodies sprawled across a mattress, one of them with a teddy bear still in their arm. There was no killer in any of the shots. No reflection, no shadow, just death. All 27 exposures were used. The last picture was of the front door to the cabin wide open, like the person who took it was leaving. I was frozen in place. Eli looked at me, dead serious. "Where did you say you got this again?" I told him about the garage sale, the older woman and the man. Then I did something stupid. I decided to drive back to Langdon. I had to know more. Maybe it was some sick art project. Maybe it was a hoax. Or maybe, just maybe, I'd imagined the whole thing. I drove out that weekend. Same road, same turnoff. But the house was gone. I don't mean empty. I mean gone. The lot was overgrown with weeds and tall grass. The gravel driveway was barely visible. The mailbox was rusted and broken. There was no sign of a garage sale, no tables, no people, no movement. It was like no one had lived there for decades. I flagged down an older man walking his dog nearby and asked about the house. He looked confused and said, "Son, that house burned down back in '99. Family of 4. It was a murder, still unsolved." I felt sick. I asked if there was a garage sale there recently. He shook his head. "No one's been on that property for years. It's cursed. Whole town avoids it." I left, fast. That night, I called the state police. I didn't know what to say, just that I had photos from a crime scene. They took me seriously. I sent them the pictures. They confirmed it. The family matched the victims from the 1999 Langdon cabin murders. The case had been cold for over 2 decades. The original murder weapon had never been found. And the police never recovered the family's camera. They believed the killer had taken it. Except, I had it. The part that haunts me the most? The last photo on the roll, the one of the front door open, hadn't been taken in the 90s. The timestamp burned into the corner said August 3rd, 2023. It was the day I bought the camera, which makes no sense. The film was sealed. The camera was factory packed. There's no way a photo could be added. Unless it wasn't a photo at all. Unless it was a message. I sleep with my bedroom door locked now. I bought a security system, and I keep seeing that final image in my head. The door, wide open, leading into blackness, waiting for someone else to find the next camera.